Hey guys, welcome to my newest pick a card reading. I am Jaime Pfeffer and I am an empath, a medium, a psychic, and a bunch of other things. But today I am reading some cards for you and we are asking the question, should I stay or should I walk away? If you've got anything in your life right now, whether it's a job, a person, a situation that you're unsure about, it feels funny to you, maybe you're getting mixed messages, and you're wondering if it makes the most sense for you to stay or if you're better off walking away, you're definitely going to want to stick around for this reading. Real quick, before we do jump into your cards and your crystals and all of that, I do want to tell you that I'm really working hard to get to the 1,000 subscriber mark. I am almost there. I am just a little bit shy of 900 subscribers, so I'm really working hard to do that. If you could offer me any support in the way of giving the video a like, a comment, subscribing yourself, I would really appreciate it. I don't ask you this to sound desperate, but I have learned recently that it would benefit me if instead of doing everything on my own, if I actually ask for help. So that is what I'm doing now. If you are so inclined and you have somebody that might be interested in the types of content that I have on my channel, which include things like inner wounds, core wounds, inner child. Sometimes I just do a weekly energy reading for the week. Any type of stuff like that, codependency, narcissism, different things like that. You can find tons more videos under my channel. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, we will take a deep breath in just to clear our energy and breathe it out. Imagining a white light going from the top of our head all the way down to our feet, clearing anything away that we no longer need. And now you can make your choice. Would you like to pick stack A, stack B, or stack C? Feel free if you need to pause the video. What I mean by which stack do you want to pick, usually something within the card or the crystal will be sticking out to you. It almost looks like it's jumping out. If you have more than one of those, you can certainly pick more than one and watch more than one part of the reading. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump in to stack A. And if you did not pick stack A, you can go down below in the description box, find the timestamps, and then find what time your reading starts. That way you can jump right forward to it and you don't have to listen to any of the other readings that don't pertain to you. All right, I'll see you on the other side. Okay, welcome. If you chose stack A, this is your reading. We will kick it off with looking at your crystal. This is a very special type of quartz crystal, and it is known as a channeler or a channeling quartz. There are some special aspects to this one that make it a channeler or a channeling quartz. It's really a gorgeous crystal. So the cool thing about a channeler quartz is that it does exactly what it sounds like. And if you're on this reading, you are actually here because some part of you recognize that I am a channel. I serve as a channel. So when I talk about myself being a medium, I serve as a channel between the energies of the deceased and the people that are still living. I also serve as a channel in terms of bringing higher spiritual knowledge through the cards. The higher spiritual knowledge gets transmitted into our physical reality. So it's from me to you. This is one of the purposes that I have in life, is to serve as a channel. So in this reading, you are being given information through a channel. And what a channel does is it really seeks to link two separate things together. So if you think about a channel like a body of water, that's a channel. Its purpose is to, let's say you were at a river and you went over the channel to get to the sea. That channel is actually bringing those two things together. It's allowing you to go from point A, the river, to point B, the sea. As a channel myself, I'm a conduit for information between your higher self, your angels and guides, or just higher vibrational energy. And then I actually have the ability to decipher and then easily communicate that information to you. So, channeler quartz. Now, let's see what your cards are. And our question was, and I did use the word should. I know a lot of people are against that word. It sounded really good. Should you stay or should you walk away? What I really want to say is it in your highest and best interest to stay, or is it in your highest and best interest to walk away? So let's take a look at your card. Okay, so your first card is spring, and it's upside down, but it says, see your seeds grow. So my impression right there is that you haven't seen any seeds growing yet. You aren't at the place where you're seeing seeds growing. Rabbits symbolize a lot of things. They can symbolize fertility, but when I saw this rabbit, I actually thought of fear. So rabbits multiply very quickly, and they can be a symbol for fears or doubts or anxious thinking, thoughts that kind of are spiraling and getting bigger. What it feels like to me is that you've invested a lot in something. You've put a lot of your own time and energy and love into something, and you aren't seeing the rewards yet. I am, though, also reminded of like a dream catcher. So if you've ever seen a dream catcher, this is really reminding me of a dream catcher. And so dream catchers were originally created to catch people's fears, children's fears, at night. So that's an interesting thing to think about. Normally the dream catcher would be this way with the things that would be hanging down. So let's look at your other cards. Whoops. Okay. So your next card is vision board. Create a board with images and words that inspire you. This was originally going to be upside down as well. So I'm wondering if you perhaps have like worst case scenarios going on in your mind. Worst case scenarios, projecting that the worst thing is going to happen or that negative things are going to happen. And in that vein, I want to say that we are all programmed as, animalistic beings. We have a part of our evolution is actually to scan the environment for worst case scenarios, to scan the environment for danger, because that is what was required thousands and thousands of years ago when we were living in times where a saber-toothed tiger could attack us. We really didn't have as much protection as we have today from the elements, even from natural disasters or animals or different things like that. So please don't beat yourself up if you find that you are somebody who sometimes projects the worst thing or negative things. The other piece I want to say is that many of us were raised in environments where we were taught to fear circumstances. We were taught not to trust anybody. We might have been taught that money doesn't grow on trees, or don't trust anyone because they'll end up biting you in your back, or, people aren't trustworthy. So it's a really good thing to be aware of these things, because once you become aware of them, it's such a huge thing. And I feel like as a society, more and more people are going to start getting into what I'm talking about, these thoughts, seeing the emotions and things that come out of them. And yes, it's wonderful to change your thoughts, but your thoughts could be so deeply ingrained that sometimes you just need to change your behavior. You might need to just calm yourself down a little bit. What I am noticing on this card right here is this reminds me of an eagle's wing. That's what I thought of right away, was an eagle. So the eagle really has very keen eyesight, and it sees things from a much higher perspective. Eagles can fly up miles into the sky, and they're able to see down into things. So I feel like what this is saying is that a vision board will help you in creating positivity. Okay. And it's like, don't try to change everything overnight, because these are deeply ingrained patterns. It can definitely be done. I want to tell you that. I personally have experienced so much success from vision boards. I need to do a video on it. I've had so many things happen from my vision boards. Negative thinking and patterns like that, those take time to develop, but it is possible to change those patterns. And one of the best ways to do it is by figuring out what those patterns are. Really not even figuring it out, just becoming aware of those patterns, and then just getting curious about those patterns. We don't want to go into blaming ourselves, shaming ourselves. If you do, it's totally normal and natural. It's a part of being a human being. So just sit with those feelings if that is what happens. Just being curious about it and being able to be there with yourself with those feelings and realizing that feelings aren't facts, and feelings definitely alert us to things that are going on within us, and they can alert us to being in danger. But sometimes we may get triggered by something, or something might just affect us in a way that, it might seem worse than it actually is. Okay? So that's what I want to say. I definitely think of doing a vision board would be very, very helpful for you. It's a visual reminder of what you want to occur in your life. Okay? So when we're asking, should I stay or should I walk away? You're being guided to have a vision board. And this card, the spring, see your seeds grow, I don't think that you've seen this yet. So let's see what else we have. Okay. Vulnerability. This is beautiful. Listen to your vulnerable feelings as they contain wisdom and inspiration, and then pray for strength to focus on your priorities no matter what. Okay, so this really is speaking to what I just talked about, which is like really getting real with your feelings. How are you really feeling in this situation that you're in? Whether it's a situation with your job, with another person, with a friendship, with a love interest. How are you really feeling? Can you really allow yourself to strip back the judgments or the perceptions or, society's expectations or your expectations or the other person's expectations? Can you get into a space where you're willing? I mean, I see this here, and this person has their hands over their heart, right? Can you, and so I know that this isn't what's happening here because these are two angels, but I almost looked at this. It almost looked like this person was pointing the finger at this other person, okay? So you may have been hurt by something. You may have been hurt, and it may have really hurt your heart. So what you're being asked to do is be vulnerable with those feelings. Really allow yourself to express how you feel. If you feel hurt, allow yourself to feel that hurt. That is going to help you in coming up with a conclusion of whether it would be in your best interest to stay or whether it's in your best interest to walk away. The real true work I'm hearing is for you to get vulnerable with yourself, and you don't want to walk away from yourself. This is something that I'm trying to teach my kids right now, and it's like, I just think to myself, I really want my girls to understand that they can really be their own best friend. And if they can be vulnerable with themselves, that makes it so much easier to be vulnerable with other people. Okay, so making yourself vulnerable as much as you can. And if it doesn't feel comfortable for you the first time, take it slow. But just, allow yourself to be vulnerable and to open up to any hurt feelings that you actually have. Beautiful. Okay, and so your last card, this is so positive, is the sun. Enjoy success and happiness. So I'm really getting the story that you've put a lot of time and attention into something. That's what this is. You have really waited for this thing to blossom, and it hasn't yet. You haven't seen the blossoming yet. And I feel like that has caused you to get discouraged. You've been down on yourself. You're thinking like, this is never going to happen, or why does this always happen to me, or who am I kidding? Why did I even bother doing this in the first place? That kind of thing. So then you're being guided to use the law of attraction, which is vision boards, right? And you're also being guided to get vulnerable with your feelings and really be there for yourself. Be there for yourself and your own feelings. Be vulnerable with yourself, with your soul, right? The vision board is going to help you attract what you want. It's going to help you shift your focus away from what you don't have. And I've got to tell you, it's like, if I have been there, if you put a lot of time and effort and energy into something and it's just not paying you back dividends, that can be so frustrating, and it can really break a person's self-esteem. It can make you question your worth. It can just really do a number on your confidence levels. So, being as vulnerable as possible with yourself, though, really allowing yourself to express that hurt or those feelings, that is the thing that is, and then doing this vision board, which is going to allow you to set a course, a new course for the future, is really going to bring you to your success and happiness. So it's like, it's something where you just need to trust. And I feel like maybe you've even been in this circumstance before and you've tried trusting again before. You may have tried picking yourself up from the situation and shifting yourself to the positive, but then the same thing happened again. What I'm really feeling for you is not to give up on this. So, but it's going to take some of your own actions and efforts. But these are actions and efforts that aren't so outer focused. They're really focused on you believing in yourself, not just about, this outer thing that maybe you want. Oh, I want to create this outer thing. I want to have, so many accomplishments, or I want to accomplish this because once I do that, people will look at me in a different way, or people will respect me more, or something like that. And what I'm really hearing here is that if you get honest with yourself and vulnerable, and you say to yourself, wow, this really hurt. This was so hard for me. I've done something that's been so difficult for me, and I keep putting in effort, and it's just not really getting off the ground. I don't understand it. And, it just feels awful, right? You're vulnerable with yourself. And you listen to yourself, right? You connect with your higher self, and your higher self comes in and says, gosh, I understand how hard that could be. That must be so difficult. Okay? And then pray for strength to focus on your priorities. So that means if you want to launch this business, or if you want to, whatever it is that you want, that you aren't seeing seeds growing from, create a vision board. That's going to help you. I mean, that's like a 30-minute to an hour-long activity that, my kids make vision boards. My little one will just find stuff online and she'll make a vision board in like 10 minutes. So it doesn't have to be a long process. It can be, but it's, in that time, you're shifting your focus from what isn't happening to what you want. So that's what this vision board should have on it. And you're allowing yourself to use the energy of the eagle to look at things from a higher perspective, right? And you're allowing yourself, though, also to hear yourself. You're being there for yourself. You're giving your feelings an audience. A lot of times, that's what our feelings want. They just want to be heard. And when they are feeling heard, they pass. They pass. And the cool thing about when they pass is that from that state, that like not overly emotional state, where you're just calm, you can actually take an objective view of like, okay, so I've tried this 3 times, it hasn't worked, and it was painful. But now that you've felt the feelings and experienced them, you get to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is the risk of trying it again and having success worth the niggling doubts that may come up that it's not going to work this time? Or is it worth it? What if I get hurt again? Is that little bit of pain, what do I think? But I really do feel like you're not even going to have that. I think that what you need to move away from, you want to move away from negative thinking, pessimism, thinking that the worst thing is going to happen again. And there's reasons that we all develop this thinking. It's a coping mechanism. It's something that helped us. It's something that made us feel safe, okay? But at this point in our lives, if it's causing us to not ever go after anything, or if it's causing us to give up too early, right? And just let our dreams go that we really have like a heartfelt desire to pursue, it's worth looking at. It's worth exploring. And I know that when you actually sit with your feelings and feel them, and you see that you can be there for yourself and that your feelings really aren't going to engulf you and eat you alive. You're going to come out of them okay. Even if you do end up crying, let's say, for a half a day, okay, which is highly unlikely. It's okay because it will eventually pass. And the reason that I can speak to this so well is because I used to be here. I'm an empath, so I've been bombarded with emotions my whole life and feelings, and I feel things so strongly. And I used to feel other people's feelings and try to fix their feelings, or I would try to fix them. I would give them like so many solutions. Try this, try this, try this, and if they wanted it. Or I felt like I had to run away from them. I felt like I couldn't be around them because I couldn't handle the feelings. Their feelings were so strong. They felt like they were going to just eat me or like engulf me, really. I'm still working on it, but I've learned to be an empowered empath. I have to be able to detach. And I also have to be willing to feel my own feelings and be there for myself and have compassion for myself and my own feelings, really, before I can help anybody else. So, anyways, should you stay or should you walk away? Your answer is, if you aren't seeing the fruits of your labors, open your mind to the possibility that it may just be a coincidence. The failure, quote failure, I'm going to say, and I will also tell you that most famous people or incredible, quote, success stories, and I use quotes because success is such a different thing to so many people. I mean, I used to think that success was like money and, financial independence and having like a job that people looked up to and, different things. But I mean, now success just has such a different meaning for me. It's like doing things that are really difficult for me and being able to put the effort in and try it as somebody that was afraid a lot of times to do things out of my comfort zone. That is being successful to me today. And it's interesting because for me, I had to shift my perception about that before the truth, the success actually came in. And once I did, I realized I'm successful already, and I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are successful already. It doesn't mean that I don't struggle with things or that I don't face challenges. I certainly do. I've been through a lot in my life. I've been through a lot of challenges. I know firsthand how hard it is to run a business, to start a business. I've had a lot of failures where I've been in this predicament, where I've said to myself, this is too hard, or this is too painful, or this is too hurtful. People don't want my products. It's not working. People don't mesh with me, or, because that's what I was seeing with my physical eyes. I was seeing, in the beginning, like, getting a like or two on a Facebook post that I really spent a lot of time on, or not having a lot of views on my videos, or different things like that. Well, come to find out, I started to talk to some business people and they were like, yeah, that's how it is for everybody, so it kind of puts things into perspective a little bit. And then I learned that I can actually ask for help. There are people out there that want to help me. There are people that have gone through the same thing that I've gone through. And I feel like that's one of the benefits of watching this channel, is that I've been through this type of stuff. I've been through learning how to connect with my higher self and how to channel information and all stuff like that. So I really hope that you found this reading helpful. I know it was longer than normal, but it was worth it. So have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye. Hello to everyone that picked Stack B. Welcome to your reading. And what we are asking is, should I stay or should I walk away? One of the things I said in Stack A is that I was hesitant to use the word should because I know that it's kind of a buzzword to stay away from. It was a nice catchy title, but what I really wanted to say was, is it in my highest and best interest to stay, or is it in my highest and best interest to walk away? So that's what we're looking at. So the stone that you picked is rhodonite, and this is a rhodonite palm stone. I will put a link below for this if you are interested. I like palm stones because you can just put your hand right around it, and it gives a real feeling of comfort to me. It gives me a feeling of security and safety, which is a wonderful thing to have, especially in times like these. Rhodonite is very much a heart stone. It helps you to to develop self-love and self-compassion. And it's also good for your root chakra. So that is about safety and security, groundedness, feeling grounded. I didn't mention this in the first stack, but these are beautiful cards by Kyle Gray, and they're called Angels and Ancestors. And the owl is really sticking out, as well as the antlers. The owl is, the wise old owl. The owl is wisdom. So you've got that, and then you've got the antlers. The antlers are a sign of spiritual information. So the antlers reach up to the heavens it's kind of like a spiritual antenna, which I just love. And then I see this back here, and I had mentioned a dream catcher. I don't know where I mentioned that. It might have been in Stack A, so you might want to go watch Stack A. These reminded me of bells, and right before this reading, I was in my bathroom, and I have like a little etagere in the corner with a couple different items on it, and I have a bell, just a little bell that you ring. So bells are really helpful. The sound that they make are very helpful for clearing energy. So if you're empathic or highly sensitive, or you feel like sometimes you soak up people's energy, or you have a hard time letting go of energy or letting go of thoughts or situations that have happened to you in your past or that could happen in your future, you may want to grab yourself a little bell. Usually around Christmas they have a lot of little bells out, but you can find one for a couple bucks. I will put one below on Amazon. I love to take them even to like hotel rooms. I'll like go into a hotel room and it just clears the energy. You just kind of ring it and it clears the energy. So this is my little bell. I just went to get it so that I could show it to you. And it's just a little handbell. And you just do that. And if you just close your eyes for a second, you can hear the echo or the sound after. And it's just so soothing because sound is one of the best ways to clear energy. So it could be through a singing bowl or a bell or jingle bells. That's what I was thinking of, was jingle bells around Christmas. You can just grab some jingle bells. So I have younger kids and they love it. They think it's so cool. If there's ever an argument or, somebody's angry or there's, feelings that everybody has, it's helpful to ring a bell after just to kind of set you on a different track. So I wanted to show you that. All right, so let's look at your cards. Wow, okay. Your first card is She-Wolf, Unleash the Wild Within. So wolves are such a special spirit animal to have. And so you are having the wolf is coming to you now, okay? Oh my gosh. Oh, look, there's bells right on the end of here. Ha, I love it. And there's a lot of feathers in here. These are really, wow, just a lot of symbolism. These stand for angels. These stand for spirit animals. Birds are messengers. So if you're somebody who gets a lot of birds or you like birds or whatever, you're receiving messages from above. We've got the big full moon back here. So I'm really feeling like you're holding a lot of energy and you might almost feel like you're going to burst. So I highly recommend getting something like a bell to help yourself. Until then, you can use clapping. I have an article about this on my blog. You can just clap and it kind of breaks up the energy. And then the other thing I thought of is you've probably got a bell on your phone. You can just listen to that, or you can go online and search for some just sounds and you can do a bell that way. So that's an idea. The she-wolf is really talking about, wolves sometimes are in packs and sometimes they're solitary. Sometimes, the lone wolf, but then they also work in packs. They survive. That's how they get their food. They go in a pack. And this is really telling you to be bold. So it says, unleash the wild within. And what I'm really feeling like is maybe you're someone that has been trying to hold yourself to a certain standard or like constrict the real you from coming out, whether it's society's expectations or maybe a family's expectations or whatever it is. You're being told that it's time to throw those expectations and perceived perceptions or judgments or whatever you think it is, whether it's judgments of yourself or other, what you think other people are judging you for or what they actually have judged you for. Just let that go. It's time to really embrace who you are. This is really speaking to me about confidence, and it's speaking to me about primal energy. So unleash the wild within. This is the alpha alpha female, the alpha female. And it's so interesting because I've been watching a show, Project Runway actually, recently, some old seasons, and I watched it last night, and the designer that I absolutely love from the season that I'm watching, she did her whole collection based on a lone female wolf. And it's just so wonderful. So I feel like there's a lot of creativity lurking inside of you that wants to come out. It's like screaming to come out, okay? The cool thing that she talked about, yeah, I've got like major chills on my body. The cool thing that she talked about was that it's like this, she had this idea of this lone female wolf who basically needed to go back to her primal instincts because she needed like one last kill to survive. So if you've got stuff that's been coming up inside of you and you're like, I just don't understand this energy, even if it's like anger or whatever, you are really being guided to let that out. So it doesn't mean that you want to rage at somebody, but you may need to scream into a pillow. You may need to take a day off, get a bed sheet, and I don't know, I'm just seeing like I was thinking of like a large canvas, but you could get a bed sheet and just paint like intuitively whatever comes to you. And you know, you might not be an artist, you might not be a painter. I'm just seeing like this discharge of a really high, a lot of energy. I feel like there's a lot of energy in your like sacral chakra, root chakra area. That's the place, the sacral chakra is where the creativity lies. And if we don't release that creativity, it gets stuck. It gets stuck. It can cause us to feel disempowered. It can cause us to feel like things are unfair, or like it can cause resentment. It can cause a lot of different things like that. So I feel like really embracing this and being bold. And if there's something going on, like if it's politics or if it's whatever, and you've been like pushing down your feelings and you're around a bunch of people and you don't agree with what they're saying and you feel, I don't know why I'm saying this, but feels like maybe there's somebody that has felt like they haven't talked about their side because these other people are so dominant and maybe you don't feel safe talking about your own opinion. You're being told that your opinion matters. You matter. Women matter. You know, we're not in this paradigm anymore of, you know, this top-down hierarchy of traditionally, you know, the white male is superior to all else. Like, we're not in that. We are rapidly moving out of that. We're moving into the age of Aquarius, which is very different. It's very different. So what you're feeling is, I mean, it's primal, it's instinctual, and it's intuitive because you've got this big moon back here. So women have a direct line to the moon. The moon stands for intuition. Your intuition is on, okay? You have intuitive gifts. And if you're seeing something that other people aren't, I just get this feeling that there's a group of people where you see certain things and maybe you've questioned it for a while, like, am I making this up? Or, you know, why do they think this? Or maybe you just have beliefs that are more evolved. Your beliefs are in a higher consciousness. I'm not trying to put anybody down. You know, I'm not trying to put the other people down, but I feel like they're operating from outdated beliefs. And that is the way that our society grows and evolves, you know? I mean, things that used to occur, you know, public stonings and hangings. And I mean, there used to be people that like spectated at that. You know, today that's like, wow, that's, you know, crass and inhumane and that kind of stuff. So I feel like you're really on the precipice of this higher consciousness, but you might be around a bunch of people that aren't. So, and this doesn't just have to be something with people. This could also be something with like a project or information that you're dealing with. And so it's like, should I stay or should I walk away? Well, what you're being told right now, you know, the wolf, it pulls itself back when it needs to go on its own, and then it comes back and it reintegrates with the pack. So I'd like to see what the other cards are, but I definitely feel like if you pick the stack, you're intuitive. You are intuitive. Don't doubt it. Allow your intuition to speak to you more. trust your intuition more. I feel like maybe you're someone who has really put your trust in other people a lot more than yourself. And I feel like you are wise. It's great to be open-minded and to consider what other people say. I mean, I try to practice that every day. But there are times when it's like, if you're a feeling person, I feel like you guys are sensitive. If you feel things that other people don't feel, if you have the gift of clear feeling or clairsentience, there's people that don't feel. They can't. They can't feel. They're numb. They've numbed themselves out. They don't have that gift. So they're speaking from knowledge that's at their level, but you're speaking with a greater knowledge because you not only have wisdom about things or whatever, you also have a sixth sense, which is feeling. So let's see what else comes out for you. Okay, sensitivity. Ha! So you are a highly sensitive person, and this card says your sensitive feelings are your muse and inspiration for your creativity. So we're talking about creativity again, and that is what I talked about a lot, about creativity. There's a lot of yellow on this card. The yellow is about the solar plexus. That is the psychic gut. And we've got kind of a mini brain in our gut that tells us, is this person safe to trust? Are they not? So you are definitely a sensitive person. It's okay for you to feel your feelings. I do think that you would benefit from checking out Stack A, because I feel like it would benefit you to listen to some of the exercises that I gave to them about sitting with your feelings, about accepting your feelings, acknowledging your feelings, being open to your feelings. I know as an empath and a highly sensitive person for so long, I was so outer focused and focused on helping other people with their feelings that I was neglecting myself and my own feelings. So I don't know if that's the case for you or not, but I do feel like Stack A would help you. So go over there once you're done with this one. Wow, okay. Allow yourself to receive. Open your arms to welcome the blessings and answered prayers that God is sending to you. So what you're really being told is, like I was just saying, instead of focusing so much on helping others, and I saw those words actually flash in my mind a couple minutes ago, actually probably a couple seconds ago, helping others. So I think you do something that is in the helping profession, or you're a mom, or you're somebody that just has a lot of maternal instincts. You're highly sensitive, so you feel when things are going on with people. What this reading is telling you, and I'm guessing it means walk away from doing that so much. You really want to come into your own, unleash the wild within. Let yourself come out. Let your own desires come out. If we're focused so much on helping others, we're not focused on ourselves, because we're doing what we can to fulfill their needs. But there are times when we need to fulfill our needs. And if we're giving all the time, we're not receiving. We're not even open to receiving, right? So this is saying allow yourself to receive. So coupled with this and everything else that's come up, this is telling me that you should pull away from whatever this outer thing is. Pull away from it a little bit. Allow that party or that situation to give to you, or it might not come from that. So allow other things to give to you. Allow yourself to receive. You deserve it. One of the best ways to receive is by giving yourself blessings. And there's so many flowers here. A great thing to do for yourself would be to get yourself flowers, or if you have a garden, to actually spend time in your garden or cut those flowers and bring them in for yourself. These are white, and white flowers are about purification and purity. So that takes us back to the bell. Wow, okay. Your next card is the Heart Guardian. Wow. Love and let yourself be loved. That's beautiful. That goes a lot with the allow yourself to receive. So it's okay for you to want to help others. It's okay for you to, a lot of us have a mission to do just that. What we are being told, though, is we don't have to sacrifice ourselves for others. We can help others, but then we can also be helped. We can love others, but then we can also love ourselves. And right here looks like a big rose. I'm not sure if that's what that really is. Yeah, I can't tell if it's her garment or not, but roses symbolize Mother Mary. And Mother Mary, to me, for me, in a spiritual context, not religious, she symbolizes nurturing and mothering energy. So this is 100% about loving yourself, giving back some of those golden energies that you have, those super healing energies that you so freely give to other people, giving them back to you, pouring them into your own heart space. Okay? You will actually have more love to give once you start doing this. You will be more calm you will feel more peaceful. You won't feel so rushed, and you won't have resentment of giving without giving to yourself, and then possibly having the people that you're giving to not giving back to you. Okay? So that is what this is about. And Mother Mary is symbolized by the rose, and it's really about giving yourself the love, the care, the attention, the acknowledgement that you give to everybody else, okay? Okay, your next card is the Earth Guardian. Stay rooted and grounded. This is upside down, so you're being guided to ground yourself. Wow, this is so interesting because I talked about a dream catcher. It must have been in number 1 or stack A. So the next thing that you want to do, and I should have said it, or I thought about it. The red robe immediately reminded me of the root chakra. So it's time to get yourself grounded. It's time to help yourself feel safe, right? And none of us do any of this on purpose. We don't mean to neglect ourselves or put other people first. I mean, as a woman, it's so hard to be raised in this society, and there's so many expectations for mothers. There's so many expectations for women, and also for men, especially if you resonate with the feminine energy more than the masculine energy, okay? So luckily, grounding yourself is easy. I have a great article on my blog about this that I'm happy to put down below. I give you 10 ways to ground yourself and why you want to do it. It really helps you to get out of your mind, okay? Get you out of your mind and into your heart space and feeling safe and secure and loved. Ooh, look, there's a heart right there. I love it. And I just love this. I love this dream catcher. I just talked about that. It's so cool. I'm also noticing on these cards something that I never noticed before, which is all of these symbols. There's a lot of symbols on the different cards. I saw this and I thought of Mickey Mouse like right away. So if you're a Disney fan, giving to yourself could just mean watching a Disney movie. Maybe you've been to Disney World and you have photos of it. Maybe Disney World is one of your favorite places. Maybe it's one of your least favorite places. I don't know. If it's one of your least favorite places, you know, if you are empathic or sensitive, it might be very difficult for you. So a way that you can give to yourself could be being okay with that and saying to yourself, I don't like Disney World. You know, sometimes it's just a matter of getting to know ourselves. Like, what do I like? What don't I like? And being okay with that, right? Instead of feeling like we have to conform to what everybody else thinks that we should do, right? Okay, so getting yourself grounded, you can go into the forest too. Trees are incredibly grounding. And you can even just look up a forest on your computer or your phone. That will help you. So your last card, which is really awesome, is Autumn. And it is Release the Old and Rest. Wow, that's beautiful. So what I'm really getting, yeah, these cards are like dream catchers. That's so cool. What I'm really getting with your reading, there's the moon again, is it's time to release some old ways of being. So, but these are things that are inside of you, okay? You didn't do anything wrong. You definitely didn't do anything wrong. You are just evolving. So you may have an exterior circumstance that's going on where you're like, I don't know if I should leave this circumstance or stay, right? That may have been why you came to the reading. But the bottom line, after we've gone through all the cards, is we're going to release the parts of you, or you want to release the parts of you that are no longer serving you, okay? Keeping yourself small. Keeping your ideas inside, or keeping just like who you are, keeping that inside, right? Not expressing your opinions, or not, because you don't want to rock the boat or different things like that. And I really understand how scary this is, but one of the ways that you know something is higher guidance is that it's not going to be there's not going to be a horrible outcome. Like, yes, you might experience some pain, but if you've been squashing who you really are for a long time, it can be scary to allow yourself to like be free or set boundaries or communicate your needs. But in the long run, and even in the short run, when you finally speak up and you say to somebody, I need a little break, or I can't make your lunch for you today, I'm really sorry, and then you do something for yourself, You definitely may experience some guilt. That's like totally normal, but you're going to end up feeling empowered. You're going to feel empowered, and then you're going to start to feel better over time because you're giving to yourself. You're not running on an empty well, okay? So that is what I got for your reading. I really hope that you liked it. You may want to look up the symbol of the maple, symbolism, and I'm sorry that I don't know that, but that is really sticking out to me as well. I'm from Michigan originally, so yeah, this is orange, so that's sacral chakra as well. You're going to let go of these old things, letting go of, fearing your sensitivity or hiding it, hiding the fact that you are sensitive, right? You're going to be allowing yourself to receive, and so you're going to be walking away from giving all the time, where you're giving where there's no way for anything to even come in for you because you're just constantly in giving mode, right? You're going to allow yourself to love, and you're going to allow yourself to be loved, right? So that is what you want to walk away from, is those old things, and you want to walk towards unleashing your wild side, unleashing your creativity, okay? I really hope that you loved the reading. And if there's any readings that you would like me to do personally, like in the future, not personally, if there are any readings that you are just, really you would love to see it, please feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know. I can't guarantee that I will get to all of them, but I am definitely curious about what you would like to see, what types of readings you would like to see. Okay? And if you don't care, if you're open, please just leave me a comment and let me know how you resonated with this stack. Okay? I'll talk to you again soon. Bye. Hi, Stack C. It is Jaime Pfeffer. And real quick before you restart your reading, I am going to ring this bell because I want to clear the energy. Okay. So I did explain the bell a bit in Stack B, so if you're interested in that, please go over to Stack B and check that out. If not, let's jump into your reading. And the crystal that you chose, this is such a beautiful crystal, and I happen to think that it looks like a butterfly. It's got like the outline of a butterfly. This crystal is aragonite. Aragonite. It's gorgeous. It forms in these types of shapes, which are really just phenomenal. But it also comes in like a tumbled variety. Aragonite is a stone for the sacral chakra. It's orange. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It's not just for the sacral chakra because I have a piece of light blue aragonite in Michigan that I don't have here. So aragonite is really good for motivation, cleansing, especially like childhood wounds or childhood patterns. And it's also very good for creativity. So we'll put that there. And what we are asking is, should you stay or should you walk away? And I explained this in the other two videos, but I'll tell you as well. I know that some people are sensitive to the word should. So there are limits in terms of the number of characters I can use in a title. So what I would have really wished to have said that I didn't is it in your highest and best interest to stay? Or is it in your highest and best interest to walk away? So that is the question that we are asking. And I don't know if I said it, but I will put a link down below for aragonite if you are interested in picking up a piece. I will tell you right off the bat, the fact that you got this one and it looks like a butterfly, I know that you are going through some type of transformation, some type of change. That is what butterflies stand for. Owls on this card, owls stand for wisdom. So the fact that this first card here is upside down is telling me that maybe you aren't listening to the wisdom that you're getting, but this looks like an eye to me. So if you want to develop your intuition further or your abilities further, it would really benefit you to do some third eye work. And it's not as hard as it might seem. Really, an exercise that I give to students a lot is to close your eyes, imagine the third eye, which is between your eyebrows and, above that point and between, in kind of the middle of your forehead. And you imagine that you can see out through that spot. And what I say is to clean that third eye, like every day. So you want to wake up or whenever you remember to do it. And imagine that you have like a soapy washcloth that you can just put over that eye, or sometimes you can use windshield wipers over that eye, or whatever it is, just to clear it and cleanse it away. The other thing is that diamonds, diamonds and also clear quartz will help you sharpen your clairvoyant abilities or your third eye abilities. So I know that when I got an upgrade to my diamond a couple years ago and then another upgrade, my clairvoyance became a lot clearer. So that's another thing that you can do. All right, so let's look at your cards. All right, first up, we've got the wolf, but the wolf is in reverse, and we have winter, take care of your needs. So this card right here tells me that you are not taking care of your needs. And we also had a wolf in stack B, so I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it would benefit you to listen to stack B. You're not taking care of your needs. Wow, okay. Warrior, be fearless and stand strong. So this green right here, this earring reminds me of malachite, and malachite is a stone of transformation and change. So that's another indication that you're going through that. We've got the feathered headdress here. Feathers stand for angels. They stand for messages, messengers. Also, these are ferns. And I know this about ferns because I studied this with my daughter, one of my daughters that I homeschool last year. And ferns are, I think, the oldest ancient plant. So this is telling me that you've got ancient roots. You can tap into this warrior energy. Be fearless and stand strong. So there's something that you are either thinking about coming up against or knowing that you need to come up against. You need to speak up for yourself, okay? And so this card is coming up to say, yes, you do need to do this. And when you do this, be fearless and stand strong. You don't want to be wavering. Okay? Wow. Okay, your next card is the Knight, and it is be brave and honest. So again, this is just these two together, be brave and honest, being brave, and then also be fearless and stand strong. I really feel like speaking up, speaking your truth, asking for what you need. I feel like you're in a situation where you could be in a situation where somebody is just stepping all over you and you're just like, I can't even believe this. I don't know. I feel like this person has no clue, but you are very aware of it, and perhaps you've bitten your tongue because you don't want to rock the boat, or you don't want to make them feel bad, or something like that. Also, this knight has a sword. So the sword signifies a couple of different things. First off, it symbolizes air energy. So you could be an air sign, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The other person could be an air sign, or maybe none of the above. Maybe there's air in the chart. But it really reminds me of Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael is the head of all of the archangels. He is the protector, okay? Knights were also protectors. I really feel like you're going to be safe, and you need to be honest. Archangel Michael, he's got like the sword of truth, right? So he cuts things off that aren't true. And I do believe that if this is a situation with another person, or if this is a situation where you're at a company and you're just like not being treated fairly, or, you're not being recognized. Yeah, I really get the feeling that it's just like it's unfair treatment. It's like, and I don't want to bring like all this judgment into it, but you kind of have to judge at a certain place if you don't feel like you're being treated fairly, right? And no amount of doing anything different on your side, like giving more effort, blah, 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 it's not going to change this, because I feel like this other person or situation or group of people, they have no idea. They have absolutely no idea, okay? You've got to be brave and be honest with them. Wow, there you go. Ask for what you want. Clear communication with yourself, with God, and with others helps you avoid misunderstandings and speeds up the process of answered prayers. So that's beautiful. And this reminds me of Gabriel. He has the trumpet. So the trumpet signifies, in the tarot, it signifies judgment, which means that something is coming around for you and that it's a good idea for you to consider looking at this again and taking action on it. So if you've considered speaking up before, or maybe you have and you didn't get what you wanted, or there was, denying it that it happened or whatever, you are really being told to be fearless. You got this. You are correct in whatever your beliefs are about this situation. Be brave and honest and ask for what you want. I do feel like avoid misunderstanding. So we just came out of Mercury retrograde, and I don't view Mercury retrograde as a time to be terrified about, oh my gosh, I can't do anything. I can't sign any contracts. I can't do this. I can't do that. It's a good thing to be aware of, but we don't want to make it like our God, if that makes sense. By the same token, Mercury is in charge of communication, and I have experienced this in my own life, and I know many others that have, where communication kind of goes awry. So something may have happened, and there may have been a misunderstanding, and it may even have been that it might have been that the person said something and you heard it the right way, but it might even be something where they don't hold as much power in their words as you do, or I don't even know. But I feel like there's a really good chance that there was a misunderstanding here. But it's very, very, very important that you speak up, that you get your needs met, right? You need to realize that you are important. You are just as important as anybody else, and your needs matter, okay? You need to ask for what you want. So in an ideal situation, as a coach, I would take somebody who is in the situation and I would say, what is it that you do want? What would be your ideal outcome, okay? And then we would go through it there. So because we're not in a one-on-one coaching session right now, I'm going to tell you, get a piece of paper and a pen and write down what your ideal circumstance would be in this scenario, okay? And if you need to, when you go and talk to this person, you can read it right off this list, okay? I know it can be scary to confront certain things, but confrontation isn't as bad as it's made out to be. And I've discovered this in my own life. I have worried about things so much in the past that it's destroyed years of my life, kind of skirting around it and not wanting to rock the boat and whatever. If I were to have spoken up and lost the relationship, it probably would have been less damaging to me than just going around and around in my head and worrying about it, or staying in a situation where I didn't feel respected or equal, okay? So you're being given a chance to speak up and ask for what you want, okay? And there's a way to do it that's kind and firm, and so your last card is, wow, okay, authenticity. So you are really, really, really being guided to be authentic, right? Trust that your real self, whom God created divinely perfect, has the strength and knowledge needed for this situation. So again, you have the strength to do this. That's what the Knight is saying. And if you don't feel like you do, call on the energy of the Knight. Call on the energy of Archangel Michael. I know Archangel Michael is already there. And then call on this warrior energy. Be fearless. Stand strong. Think about, you can probably go on YouTube and find free warrior or drumming meditations. And I feel like that can help you. You deserve the best. You do. Just like anybody else. You deserve the same things that other people want. And there's a good chance that you could ask for what you want and they would be like, sure. You know what I mean? You don't know. And if they get upset and they say, absolutely not, or they get very defensive, that's a clue that you probably hit on something, okay? So I know that stuff like this can be so hard, but it's so much better to just get it out there and to really be you, to be authentic. If I had a friend or I was in a situation where somebody felt really oppressed or they just didn't feel worthy or that they were being treated worthy, and they came to me and told me this, I would just be like, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry that you feel that way, and then I would change my behavior. Unless it was a completely ridiculous scenario. Yeah. And also I'm really hearing, I definitely want you to check out B, but maybe you should check out A too. This is about being authentic with yourself as well, and being brave and honest with yourself and facing your fears and knowing that you're not a bad person for having needs. Everybody has needs. A lot of us were taught that our needs weren't important, right? And it may have come from the most well-meaning parent. They may have been taught that. They probably were, right? And we just, yeah, it's like kids take things personally and they believe that they cause certain things. And you didn't cause whatever happened to you, but you do have the power to change it right now. And that's where your power is. And let me tell you, when you have a conversation like this, it's going to empower you. It's going to empower you. Looking at your feelings, being vulnerable, and being authentic with yourself and saying, you know what? I really don't like how I'm being treated there. Or maybe you'll say, you know what? I don't want to give up this relationship. You know, maybe that's what you need to express to the person. But I'm just really getting to ask for what you want. So don't walk away yet. That's your answer. Don't walk away yet. I really highly want to guide you to check out B and A because they're going to give you more information. I also just happen to notice, okay, so that's the sun. I thought it was the moon at first, but it's the sun. The sun is about going for something, okay? Go for it. Take the action, right? So watch B and A, but, you know, be authentic and ground yourself because I think that you kind of are in your mind about this a bit and it's probably causing you more harm than good. Be brave and honest, and I think that you're going to be surprised and delighted by the response that you get. And you know what? If you aren't, you can nurture yourself and you will get through it. You will. You totally will. So I hope that helped you. I am wishing you so much positivity and success, and I know that you can do it. So please leave me a comment below if you resonated with this reading, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.